Unlocking your inner therapist. In the last couple of days, I've had several appointments with counselling clients and also several wonderful chats with friends. And don't we really love to touch base with friends? After the talks and after the counselling sessions, I thought about the concept of unlock your inner therapist. Of course, if you need therapy or you feel you need therapy, then face-to-face, wherever possible, is recommended. However, we each have the propensity to support our journey with inner therapy, with the framework of counselling yourself. How do we do that? Let's have a discuss. Self-counselling involves engaging in reflection, in personal reflection, in that ambient environment where we sit, relax and say, why did that happen? How did I feel about that happening? How am I going to process what occurred? And self-reflection is a poignant, slow, reflective process. It isn't a, why did that happen? It isn't a rumination. It is a, that happened. Why did that happen? How can I perceive that differently? How will I choose to remember this experience? What can I learn from this experience? Reflection is, or self-reflection is a positive experience, whereas rumination is often a tangled up, hair pulling, oh my goodness, why did that happen? Turning it over and over and over until you're stuck in the barrel of a wave. So point one, being able to engage in a reflective and constructive dialogue with yourself, to address particular issues, to look at how to make decisions, how to foster your personal growth. Self-reflection can be incredibly valuable, not to usurp a therapist. How do we do this? Number one is journaling. And I always like to write with when I'm journaling, but I think that there is significant value in typing as well. And those of you who follow me know that I use Penzu, P-N-Z-U. I find it really helpful. Write down your thoughts and feelings regularly and try to take care with the filter. We filter everything that we do. We look at it a number of ways. Try to be brutal and raw with yourself. Be vulnerable when you journal. This can help you to clarify your emotions, perhaps redirect them, perhaps reframe them, perhaps choose to see them in a different way, perhaps learn from them. Identify patterns, times where we tend to invite repetition, do the same thing, and explore possible solutions. And also take the time to accept when an issue does not have a solution. Many of the issues we have in life don't have a solution or don't have an easy solution. The ability to identify and say, well, that's not an easy one. I'm going to be okay anyway. The ability to recognize when there is no clear solution. Secondly, ask questions. Pose open-ended questions to yourself. Okay, Lauren, how do you feel about what occurred? Honestly, with vulnerability, how do you feel? What am I feeling right now? Where am I feeling this? In what part of my body? Am I feeling it in my neck, my forehead, my hips? Where am I feeling this? What is the message my body is telling me right now? What are my options? and reflect. Go back to self-reflection, go back to journaling. Be able to identify, to breathe and say, I feel anxiety in my throat. I own that. I have an issue without a clear resolution. I'm going to own that too. I'm going to sit with the options, with the understanding that this isn't straightforward. I'm going to be resilient. I'm going to practice resilience. Number 3, set goals. Define clear, achievable goals for yourself. Break them down. I love this. Chunk them down. Don't you just love the phrase, chunk them down? I kind of think of chunks of chocolate. Whenever you have a problem, chunk it down. I have a particular set of problems at the moment with a person, and each day when I reflect upon it, I chunk it down, put it into bite-sized pieces so that I can fit it into the mouth of my mind, so to speak. Define clear, achievable goals. Have the resilience to own a situation that doesn't have a clear goal and work it through by chunking it down. Love that phrase. Chunk, chunk, chunk. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Practice mindfulness, the ability to take a breath, roll your shoulders back, lift your sternum, and say, wow, this is complete profanity. I'm going to breathe anyway. I'm going to notice the way I breathe. I'm going to relax my body. I'm going to accept it if my body is a little bit resistant today. I'm going to go with the practice that the universe or God has delivered to me today. I'm just going to breathe. I'm not going to ask my breath to be perfect. I'm going to ask my breath to just be there. The ability to own yourself, identify yourself. Mindfulness, the ability to mindfully review reality. Challenge negative thoughts. I'm not a big one for the word negative. I think it's too polarizing, it's too simple, and life is not simple. So why use simple terminology? Challenge negative thoughts. Challenge thoughts that are not friendly thoughts. Challenge thoughts that present us with blockages. Identify our internal rhetoric. You know those words when you say, oh, goodness me, I'm hopeless, or I can never get through these situations, or this always happens to me. Who's saying that? You, I. Let's look at that rhetoric that we train ourselves in and say, hang on, Lauren. I refuse to accept that rhetoric, and I'm going to embrace new rhetoric. I'm going to rewrite that. Oh, my daughter's just messaged me. I'll turn that sound down. I'm going to rewrite my internal rhetoric. I'm going to do it calmly, objectively, and be the spectator of my own rhetoric. Visualize outcomes. Visualizing the journey of a particular situation. Visualizing the consequences of a particular situation. Objectively, as a spectator, to be able to say, this situation, this isn't cool. I am extremely irritated by this situation. This situation is simply awful. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to own it. I'm going to tell myself I'm going to be okay. I'm going to have a talk to myself about my internal rhetoric. I'm going to chunk this down and I'm going to take baby steps, one step at a time. I'm going to visualize outcomes. Perhaps it's incredibly difficult at the moment and I'm just going to visualize the beach. Or I'm going to visualize a mountain stream to give myself the resilience to keep going. Visualize outcomes. Visualize where this situation may go, can go, and visualize as the spectator, and then visualize an ambient place you can go to prepare yourself and gather resilience. Seek feedback. This is a hairy one. Seek feedback from people who have some vested interest in caring for you. Some people who are professional. Some people who can give you an objective, reasonable response. Think carefully before seeking advice. Of course, always go and have professional advice. I'm a big proponent for professional advice. We also need a support team. Be careful who you choose to be on your support team, because they play an invaluable role in supporting your resilience. So choose people who have a strong sense of self, are able to self-reflect, do not participate in small-minded behaviour, gossip, opinions, etc., and legitimately are able to demonstrate empathy without an agenda or a minimal agenda. Always have a self-care routine. When life goes belly up, hairy, unpleasant, refer to self-care routine. Walking, having a glass of water, eating well, shower, bath, pausing, moving proactively rather than reactively, responding rather than reacting. Self-care routine. Do you have one? What is it? Are you able to tell me right now? Would you be able to answer that question? Would you be able to say, my self-care routine is A, B, and C? Emotional regulation. Recognize what emotional regulation is and what dysregulation is. Learn techniques to manage emotions, such as deep breathing or progressive muscular relaxation, a body scan. Learn to think clearly during stressful times. So we all have a ground zero. When we become heightened or agitated, our voice may go up. We may speak faster. We may have more volume. We may present as agitated. Be able to assess yourself. Are you speaking faster? Is the volume of your voice going up? Are you talking over another person? Take a step and say, these are features, these are signs of my discontent, my inability to self-regulate. So let's take a moment and self-regulate. If you have physical signs of agitation, redirect yourself. Slow your speaking down. Relax your body. Relax arms, legs, feet, hands, forehead. Is your forehead creased? Is your head relaxed? Is your throat soft? Are your eyes just sitting in their sockets? Relax. Forehead, head, relax. Learn about yourself. Notice yourself. Imagine that you are a play upon a stage. Know that play. Know yourself. Reflect on past experiences. We choose how to reflect. We choose what to remember and how to remember. And be mindful that choice is not straightforward. It sounds easy, isn't it? Oh, you just choose. It is a complex, learned process. We internalize memory as we grow. We choose how to internalize. We can choose to remember memories differently. This is a skill, this is a practice, and at times requires professional support. We can choose our feelings. It is not easy to choose feelings and thoughts. It can be done. It is an individual journey. And no one person should judge another person's individual journey. But we can choose to have a memory of a pile of garbage with a flower in the middle, and we can choose to remember the flower. Or we can be blind to the flower and remember the stinking garbage. Skill, a practice. And if you've been through an experience of overwhelm or trauma, then it is a whole different gamut of skill. Trauma is different. Again, nobody can judge how somebody works through a state of overwhelm or a state of trauma. Compassion, gratitude, a practice of kindness can help when we're stressed. Again, trauma, overwhelm is over here. That's different. When we practice compassion, when we practice kindness, we release happy hormones and we help support our health and our clarity of mind, a practice. By regularly engaging these practices, we can develop a sense of self-awareness, enhance our decision-making skills, and foster our personal growth. Our ability to state what has occurred is important. In one of the stories I heard in the last few days, it was about a lovely person who had fallen for their boss at their work and had feelings for their boss for many years. And we were discussing moving on past that limerence, that layers of addiction. And we looked at some of the behaviours, and this person spoke highly about their boss. So I wanted to unpack that. And I found that the boss regularly hugged, or at times hugged, this person at work. And also this boss purchased extraordinary birthday presents for this person who had a crush on their boss. Boss married. This boss also passed on other stories that I felt undermined the wife and opened up a forum for breadcrumbing. Now, we all may have a friend that hugs everybody. We all may have a friend that gives big gifts. But when we have a problem or an issue in life, it's important to take a step back and say to ourselves, do we want to see this person in a particular way? Are we almost entranced with the idea that this person is a certain way, or are they a certain way? Are we enmeshed? As in, are we choosing to have a entanglement with that person without stepping back and go, hey, that's a red flag. I'm not so keen on the word red flag. I think it's too simplistic, but we'll use it today. The ability to step back and say, that's not what somebody does in that role as a general rule. And I know we can all be unique and we all deserve the right to behave in a fairly free way. But when we behave in a certain way, which infers something to somebody else, that's not okay. We each have a duty of care to consider the feelings of another person and consider what they feel about us and adapt our behavior because of what they feel. We need to consider the role we have in a particular situation and how we behave within that role, our duty of care. So when we're working through personal problems, the ability to stand above the problem, look down and be able to name it, identify it, take a step away. When I was counselling someone a couple of days ago, I said to this person, Imagine if a friend of yours just told you this story. What would you think? And she'd say, oh, I wouldn't put up with it. I would tell my friend not to put up with it. That ability, when you're self-counseling, to be the third person, to be the spectator of your life, to be the observer and be able to name what occurred, state the events, and almost be the investigator, the judge, the jury, and be objective there. Rather than say, oh, we both love this and we both do this and we both have this special thing we like to do. That's lovely. That's lovely when you've got that connection. Be sure it's evidence-based. Give yourself the evidence, because you matter. You have value. And we've only got one life, so let's not waste time on a perception that we have possibly self-fabricated or not objectively analysed, where we have not been the spectator of our own life. The ability to identify, this person said this person responded, oh, that's gaslighting. This person said this or did this or had this meaning. That is, and be able to identify it. I thought I'd just say hello. Someone just knocked on the door, as they do. I just thought I'd say hello. Thank you to those of you that have subscribed to my channel memberships to help support the writing of my book. And thank you to those of you who support me on Patreon. Thank you to those of you who subscribe to this channel. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the sharings. The sun is going down now. It's just beautiful. I'll have to show it to you. I've got another piece of content that I'm putting up in the next couple of days. I'm not sure what I think of it, but I'll put it up. Isn't it stunning? Life. Storms and rainbows. Storms and rainbows.